There's a funny story that one of Beethoven's critics in his lifetime said, oh, Beethoven, 10 years from now, nobody's going to know who that guy is because they thought his music was, nobody's not going to catch on.
Well, he couldn't have been more wrong. So, yeah. Hi, my name is Aiden Russell. I'm a cellist with Symphony Nova Scotia. And joining me for this pre-concert chat today is the principal bass, Max Kasper. Today we'll be talking about an upcoming concert featuring Beethoven's 6th Symphony, the Pastoral Symphony. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the first piece on the program is a relatively new composition written by Anna Klein called Stride.
Yeah. We played some Anna Klein a couple of years ago. I don't
know if anybody remember.
That was because it was your first season. You were probably like, what's going on?
Yeah,
what's going on?
I got to make a good impression.
Where's the rabbit?
Yeah.
So, but we played this cello concerto that was really fantastic. She's a wonderfully exciting composer. The music is energetic and passionate, but also lyrical. And for modern compositions, it's quite accessible, if you know what I mean. It's not jarring. It's not like a cat on a piano. It's really there's a structure that is familiar to us that will make it make sense to you, and yet it's still modern. Like she's still doing interesting things. There are still things you haven't heard before, and we haven't heard this piece, but I'm really looking forward to playing it because she's a wonderful composer, and it's I really enjoyed the cello concerto that we did. That had a great impact and it was exciting and really fun.
Yeah.
And I think that went over really well with the audience too. That was a big hit. So this should be really
this will be cool. Yeah.
Cool.
So for this piece, I learned that she was influenced by Beethoven's Pathetique Sonata, and there was a specific mention of the octave oscillations in the left hand of the piano sonata that we'll actually sort of imitate in this piece, which it's kind of cool. So to think Beethoven's influence has reached, I guess, 200 or 250 years in the future.
Yes.
And we're playing a modern interpretation of Beethoven in a way.
It's sort of neat that we all stand on the people from the past.
That's right.
We stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
So just as it's important for us to play new music now, it's important for composers to compose new music that's different. They don't want to compose the same old thing. And the second piece we're playing on the program is a Schumann's only piano concerto.
That's right.
And at the time, like if you listen to it, there are beautiful melodies, but if you listen underneath the melodies, the harmonies are very bold and exciting. For the time that he lived in, this was the new music. And
that's right.
This was jarring, and people were saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe he wrote that. It's terrible." And bring back Mozart.
Yeah. And at least from what I've learned in my experience, is Schumann's style of composing. It's almost bipolar in a way. You can have this.
That's because he was bipolar.
Oh, that's okay. Well, then that explains it. I don't think I knew that. So he writes these very exciting or dramatic bits of music, and then immediately following it, somehow he makes it work to just transition into this beautiful either harmonic progression or just this long melody.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, that's kind of why he's one of my favorite composers. I like that. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You get to wear a couple of different hats when you play his music. So it's not all one type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're beautiful melodies, but they never go quite where you think they're going to go.
That's right.
If you know what I mean, like Tchaikovsky, it goes where you think it's going to go.
It's predictable.
It's he's a master, and he's a wonderful composer and amazing, but it goes where you think it's going to go. Schumann always, to me, just goes a little bit. I find it very hard to play.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it a lot.
It's hard to play for me. You have to be always on your toes. It's like you're log rolling. I always find when I'm playing Schumann. His wife, Clara, was a world-famous pianist, and he himself was a pianist when he was younger, but he injured his hands by, he wanted to have a bigger stretch on the piano, so he made this machine that would stretch his fingers out, and he ruined the ligaments in his fingers, so he couldn't play anymore. But his wife was a beautiful pianist and very famous. So Robert and Clara Schumann befriended a young Johannes Brahms, and they formed a little love triangle.
Yeah.
And it was unrequited, but still important to all of them, I think, in many ways. And Robert Schumann had mental challenges and spent some time in an asylum. Sometimes the musicians that have had sort of the hardest emotional obstacles to overcome are the ones that speak the deepest to us,
they write the most beautiful music, or they play the most soulfully, or whatever. Yeah.
Like Beethoven, he was going deaf.
That's right.
And I think he was already going deaf when he started writing the Sixth Symphony.
Oh, okay.
I think he could still hear. But,
okay. I hope so. Because I mean, the symphony is just so pretty, and I think after listening to it a few times, it's probably one of my favorites.
It's the most melodic I've ever heard of Beethoven, right? Like there's melodies and bonus points if you can find the Simpsons episode where they play a little bit of
something about that. Yeah,
a little bit of the Pastoral movement. Also for Beethoven, this is an unusual thing where it's actually programmatic, where he's actually describing things in music. Like there's a thunderstorm and then a happy dance of the villagers and stuff.
That's right. Or by the brook, I think is the second one.
Yes, you can actually hear the water moving and rippling, and it's quite a departure for him. And it's fascinating.
But he does it so nicely.
Yes.
I think for us, the moment where we kind of go, right, as we get this almost unplayable part.
It is unplayable
in the thunderstorm movement. So when we get there, just check out. You probably see Max really well. His hand's going to be going up and down like mad.
We're all going to do that. It's crazy. Yeah.
There are these quintuplets about I don't know how we're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And how do you fit 5 notes that cleanly over and over again with another person? Right? It's going to sound a little bit of a mess. And sometimes us as orchestra musicians will tell each other, "Oh, no, that's just an effect."
Yeah.
But that might literally be what Beethoven was after. He might have just wanted some kind of effect.
I think he just wanted an effect.
Yeah.
It's my teacher used to tell me this famous story about Richard Strauss wrote Heldenleben, which is a phenomenally hard tone poem, and this is a 20th century work, and early 20th century, and he went to a rehearsal of the Berlin Philharmonic, and in the score, it was like the first violin part, and then just like a big arrow down the whole score, like everybody was playing, of all the strings, were playing the same line. And the symphony had worked and it sounded perfect.
Okay.
And he got there and he listened to it and he stopped the conductor and he said, that's amazing, but it was just supposed to be a gesture, like it was an effect. I didn't expect anybody to actually play all those notes so accurately.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same with the storm scene, and we're just supposed to imitate a thunderstorm.
Some sort of sound, rumble.
And it does sound like that. But all the same, professionally, one wants to play all the notes.
We will shoot to achieve it.
For over 30 years, I've been trying to play all the notes, and I'm determined that this time I will get as close as I possibly can. Because, it's, at some point, you just have to sacrifice accuracy for the gesture.
For the gesture.
And
it's all for you guys. Yes. We want to make it sound super cool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I do have, there's one point in the symphony I just want to remember to say. And when we get to the storm movement, you will have not heard the piccolo until the highest, the most intense place in the storm, I believe.
Yeah.
So keep your ears out for that. I'm sure Christine will just let her rip.
Yeah.
So you won't miss it, but that's kind of a fun thing to know. Yeah.
I hope that we've given you some food for thought and entertaining ideas, and I hope that you will join us at this wonderful concert. We'd like to thank Dr. Piano and Jules Chamberlain at Red Door Realty for sponsoring our endeavors. And thank you for watching.